Hello everyone! For the last couple of years, I have been drawing animals that you recommend over here on YouTube Shorts, and we have drawn so many animals together thanks to your comments. We have done 4 entire page spreads, almost full of a whole bunch of different animals. We have done 63 different animals that are so fun and colorful thanks to your comments. Here are all of the animals that we have drawn together and come up with, and I know there are a lot more animals in the world, so if you don't see your animal on here yet, go ahead and comment down below what animals you want to see me draw. For this video, I want to finish this page spread and fill in some of the blank space up top. I'm really excited to complete this one. It's looking perfect to me and I don't want to mess it up. So like and subscribe and let's draw animals that you recommend. The first animal that I want to draw today is a cute little mouse. I've seen this one commented a few times and I always think of Cinderella when I think of mice, so I want to make sure that I make a really cute and adorable little mouse. So I first started out by drawing out the face like always. I like to start off with rough shapes for my sketches and just try to get everything in the right place, like the features. I always think the eyes are the most important part, and that really makes the animal look like itself and kind of decides the tone of the animal. I tried to draw this mouse and at first I think it was looking really scary. This was a trust the process one. I think it was kind of looking like hunched over and creepy, like a little villain mouse, and it was not giving the cute energy that I wanted it to. So I tried to redo the body so it was looking like a little bit less hunchy and creepy hand like, and then I think that made it look better. So once I was content with my sketch, it was finally time for the outline. Whenever I'm drawing animals, I always feel like it's a huge trust the process moment because the sketch and the outline look completely different than the entire thing when it's finished, and I always feel like adding in those final details really make or break the animal. So for the mouse, I just try to stick with trusting the process and try to make it look more friendly by altering the eyes and the facial expression a little bit and try to make it look a little less scary and just weird looking. So then it was time for the hands, and hands are always so challenging and little mice hands are no exception. But once I had the complete outline done, it's time for the colors. Coloring in the animals is my favorite part. I love adding in all of the different shades of the animals that really brings them to life, and I find that there are so many more colors in the animals than I thought that there were. Like, I never really even thought that a mouse would have so much pink in its feet, tail, hands, and ears, but it does, so I decided to start with the pink first. This time I'm starting off with kind of a lighter color, but sometimes I start off with the darkest color. It really just depends on the animal, but for this one, I really tried to stay close to my reference image. I always have reference images on hand for the animals since I don't know off the top of my head what animals look like. If I tried to draw these animals from memory, let's just say this would be a very different and much scarier video. So I always look at my references and I try to add in so many different textures and shades to really indicate the shape and dimension of the animal, and also to make sure that I make it look right, because if you don't indicate like the curves and the different structure of the animal, it will end up looking really blob-like or really scary and distorted. So I try to stick really close to what the animals look like. But now it's time for my favorite part, which is the last details. I especially think adding in the white gel pen highlights to the eyes make the animals come to life and make them look so cute and friendly. Now it's time to mark this one as animal number 64, and here is how this little mouse turned out. It looks so cute. I think it's definitely giving a friendly little Gus Gus Cinderella vibe, and now it's time for the next animal. Animal number 65 is going to be a ferret, thanks to all of these comments suggesting a ferret. I have never thought to draw one until the comments, and I could not believe it because I love ferrets. Every single time I see one at the pet store, I want to bring it home, but I have 2 cats, and one of my cats has met my sister's bunny, and let's just say like that did not go well. I thought that it would be a really cute, friendly interaction, but my cat wanted to harm the bunny and wanted to hunt the bunny. Nothing happened. The bunny bunny was okay, but I still don't think a ferret would get along with my cats very well. But I always see the cute little videos of them getting along, and it makes me wish that my cats could get along with one, but it's just too risky, and ferrets don't deserve that. Also, I think ferrets are kind of more work than I want, although I do hear that they sleep a lot. Comment down below if you have a ferret and tell me all about it so I can live through you. But now it's time for the colors of the ferret. For this one, I decided to make it brown. I love how many different shades and variations of ferrets there are, but I wanted to go with kind of a classic look just to keep it easily identifiable in the sketchbook. So now I'm going in with all of my colors. First, I mapped out the darker colors this time and put on the little mask that the ferrets wear. In my head, they're kind of related to raccoons just because they have little masks on their face too. And then I added in those special colors that you might not think of, like the shades of pink and extra shades of brown, just to make sure that it looked like fur. And now it's time for those final details, which like I said before, just think they really make it all come together, especially those white gel pen highlights in the eyes. And of course, I had to add in a whole bunch of cute little whiskers and fur texture to really make it look completed. But here is how the ferret turned out. I think it looks so cute and I love it. I still want to fill up some of this white space, so let's start with this area and draw yet another animal. For animal number 66, I am going to be drawing a cute little baby seal thanks to these comments. In my head, I was like, a baby seal is going to be so easy to draw. It's basically just a little white blob, so like, how hard can it be? But I was wrong. This one really challenged me because it was so shapeless that it needed very intentional shape. And that sounds weird, but like, I didn't want it to look like a chicken nugget. I'm trying to make it look like a baby seal, so I still had to make sure that all of the blob likeness of it was very intentional. So I tried really hard to make sure that all of the pencil sketches I put on here had a purpose. And then it was time for the outlining. It took a couple of tries to get the facial features right, but then I think I finally got it. And seals are such a cute, weird animal. Like when they just, flop around on their stomachs. I just can't really comprehend what they're doing on the floor like that. But here we are drawing a cute little baby seal. I made sure to include those little eyebrows that they have with the little black spots. Super cute. And then I decided to add in a whole bunch of different shades of grays and tans because little did I know, they're not really just white blobs. They have a lot more depth and dimension and color than that. So I actually had to work really hard to keep the animal looking white, but to also make sure that it had a lot of depth to it and you could see its chunky little roundness. So I made sure to add in a lot of different shades and colors, but I think it was turning out pretty cute. I added in some final touches with the white gel pen again and then labeled it number 66, and here's how it turned out. I think it's super cute and it's still very blob shaped but very intentional. I still want to fill up these two little tiny spaces with little animals, so let's do that. The first tiny animal I'm going to draw is a wasp thanks to these comments. I don't get a lot of comments asking for bugs, which is fair because they're kind of gross, but also because they're very hard to draw. So I'm thankful that there aren't too many. They're super symmetrical and they're super tiny, so it's hard to draw them in my sketchbook like this. But I knew this one was going to be a lot of outlining since it is so small and its color is primarily black anyway. So I tried my best to make super detailed outlines and focus on being cleaner with this one than really more detailed. Whenever I'm drawing the animals, I always think of them as kind of portraits for the animals, which is funny because I don't think I'm getting the pictures close enough that the animal would recognize it as its portrait, if that makes any sense. But that's the forgiving thing about animals. It's not like drawing people where they would know all of the details and aspects, or even drawing somebody else's animal. I'm just trying to draw something that like somewhat resembles an animal somewhere in general. It doesn't even have to exactly match my reference pictures. It just needs to give you the vibe that it's the right animal. But here's how the wasp turned out. It is so small. I could literally actually squish it on my paper. It is so tiny. But now it's time for the next tiny animal, which is one I've never heard of. For animal number 68, I'm going to be drawing a sea bunny, which I had never heard of before. I had to do a quick little Google search to even see what this was, but it's basically a type of mollusk, and it like lives in the ocean, and it's just super cute. It's little and tiny, and it kind of resembles a bunny because it looks like it has these little ears. It was super simple to draw because it doesn't even have a face, so I quickly sketched it out and outlined it, and then I decided to add in some shadows to make it look more round and cute, and then I added in some yellow too, just to give it a little bit of a touch of sunlight vibes. And here is how it turned out. It's super quick, easy, and simple, but it is adorable, and I learned something new today. But here is the entire page spread together, and here is the first animal we drew today, a little mouse that looks super cute, hopefully not creepy. Next up was a ferret, which I think looks adorable. I love their little faces, and I would have one if I could. Next up is a baby seal, which I hope I didn't make look like a chicken nugget. Next up was the wasp, which was so small I could literally smash it on the page. And finally, we drew the cute little sea bunny, which taught me something new about nature. And here is how they all look on this final page spread together. It is finally completed with a whole bunch of animals. Now we are up to 68. Here's a look back at all of the page spreads we've done so far together. I think that the last one that I did is by far my favorite. I love how the animals are overlapping, and I definitely think my skills have improved over time. And I also think the animals are getting more interesting since we're running out of some ideas. I mean, we shouldn't be running out of ideas yet. Comment ideas down below because we've only made 68, and I want to do another page spread. For this page spread though, I thought it'd be cool to maybe theme it. Like it could be aquatic themed, and you can comment like sea creatures. It could be like safari themed, and we can do that, or maybe even like tropical animals. But I feel like it'd be cool to do a themed page spread. So comment a theme and then comment the animal you want to see in that theme. But thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment what animal you want to see me draw next, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.